Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Imagine that you get a call from a job you've already quit, and they threaten to fire you. Unpleasant, isn't it? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Sit comfortably. Here we go. You're only here for 1 week? Okay, then. A few years ago, right after graduating, I was working a temp job at a factory while searching for a real one in my field. Both the agency and my supervisor at the factory told me that I was scheduled for 1 week only. I was hired alongside other guys, some from 1 week and some from 2 weeks. They would tell me if they eventually need me for a second week, so I'm working at some plant, the morning shift, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Friday comes, last day on the job, no update from the supervisor or the agency. While back home, I check the mail, and there's a positive answer for a real job I had an interview a few weeks before. This was the official stuff with the starting date. So I guess I can tell the temp agency I'm not available anymore, as I now want to use the few weeks before my job as holidays. Unfortunately, on Friday, the temp agency closes early and stayed closed until Monday at 9 a.m. I guess it's okay since my current engagement with them is over. So here I am, Monday, 9 a.m. sharp, in my underwear and old robe, but myself not really sharp, calling the agency. The person who answers is the lady who hired me specifically for 1 week. To be honest, I don't really like her. I'd worked for the same agency while I was a student and always had to deal with her. She acted like giving someone a minimum wage job dispensed her from basic courtesy. She once made me late by explaining to me how last-minute planning was going to make me late. Last-minute planning was because her agency called me to start a job with 1 hour notice. But I had to go to the agency first, but also I had to wait for their lunch break to be over. She also had me sign a form stating I abandoned my previous job before giving me my salary. In France, it can be a problem as if you quit, you don't get unemployment benefits. Because she hired me for 3 days but wanted me to come a fourth, and had already done the documents this way without asking if I were available. When I'm telling her that I won't need any future job from her agency, I'm in a half-sleepy, half-not giving a F mood. She immediately asks me where I currently am, and her tone seems more edgy than usual. Usual answer, not your business. But the sleepy answer, at home? Where else would I be? Now I'm fully awoken. She's yelling at me that I'm already over 4 hours late on an 8th shift and that I have to go to work immediately as fast as I can and so on. When finally, I need to know when you'll be there to inform the factory ASAP. But you hired me for 1 week. You had to check the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet? On the schedule board of the factory. The sheet with your station for the next shift. Since on the first day the factory supervisor assigned me to the same station for the whole week, I didn't even know this schedule board existed. But what I do know is that she was not aware of my absence and probably has no immediate replacement. And since the supervisor knew I was planned for 1 week, she can't blame it on me. You hired me for 1 week, and since you did not give me any update as you said you would, I'm not coming in at all. If you don't come in, you'll never work for us again. Oh, please, don't worry. I already have another job, so I'll be okay. Have a good day. And our next story. That is outrageous. Can't you give me a discount? A little background. My hotel allows more than 2 people to stay in a room. However, if there is more than 2 adults in the room, it bumps the price more than $10 per each adult. So if you have 5 adults in the room, it's an extra $30. I usually don't up the price unless there's a manager nearby, only because our rooms are pretty expensive as it is. Me is me, B is B, FB is friend of B. It's a pretty normal day coming into the hotel, about 30 check-ins, so nothing special. This lady comes in entitled as F and asks if I have any rooms available. Me, just for tonight? B, yes, just for tonight, like I'm going to stay in this crappy town for a day longer. Yeah, this town can be pretty boring, but it can be nice at times. How many adults and children are going to be in the room? Why does that matter? I don't tell people the price difference if they have more than 2 adults in the room. Otherwise, they lie and say they have 2, when in reality they have 4. Oh, it's in case there's a fire and the fire department needs to know how many bodies are in each room for rescue. This is true. That's ridiculous. I have 2 adults and 1 child. At this point, I know she's probably lying, but since I'm in a good mood, I let it slide. Okay, so my standard king is going for $144 plus tax, and my 2 queen standard is going for $134 plus tax. That is outrageous. Can't you give me a discount? Do you have AAA or military? No. Well, unfortunately, I can't bring the price any lower unless you have one of those things. Fine, I'll take it. The other hotel chain across the street is way better, but they're sold out. Okay, can I see your ID and your debit or credit card? The check-in process ensues, and I put her in her room on the first floor near the pool because she requested it, and I didn't want to hear any complaints. This lady asked for so many things to be taken up to her room: extra towels, extra blankets, soap, better pillows, room service up the wazoo, but then she gets frustrated when I let her know we aren't a full-service hotel and we can't give her room service. She has to come down and get it herself when there are no housekeepers working, and it's just me. I can't leave the desk unattended unless I have to. At this point, I'm getting pretty frustrated with this lady. I get a call from the room next door saying her room is being pretty noisy and they need to keep it down. I go ahead and call her, and the conversation is as follows. Hi, is this B? No, this is her friend. What do you want, lady? I actually received a noise complaint. Would it be possible to... B, you hear that? We got a noise complaint. Time to be louder, huh? Hell yeah! F these a-holes! At this point, I can hear them from down the hall. More noise complaints ensue, so I start heading over towards her room and feel my chest vibrating with crappy music coming from her room. Me, knocking on the door. Front desk. What the hell do you want, lady? If you keep bothering me, I'm going to have to speak to your manager. I notice that she has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 extra adults in the room. She even has a couple of dogs in the room. Pet fees are mandatory and cost $25 per pet per night. She agreed to that when she signed her registration card when she checked in. I'm sorry, miss, but it's a little loud in here. Would it be possible to keep it down as to not disturb the guests in the neighboring rooms? No. Why the hell would I do that? I paid to be here. As did the other guests. I'm going to ask you to comply or you will be evicted. Hey, FB, you hear that? She wants us to leave. Well, that sucks for her now, doesn't it? We'll just have to leave then. They slam the door in my face, and I can hear them trashing the place. I go back to my desk and calculate the actual cost of her room. In total, her room was originally around $155 after taxes. After what I did, it brought it up to $280, including the extra adults in the room was around $50, the 2 pets was another $50, and I also kept her security deposit due to the amount of mess in the room. I didn't automatically input it into the system yet, though. I wanted to wait for her to come down and physically check out first. About 30 minutes later, she comes down. Hi, yes, we'd like to check out. Okay, awesome. Did you enjoy your stay? Of course not. This place is complete garbage, and even looking at you has made it worse. Oh, well, I apologize for that. Would you like your receipt? The total was $155. How could it be that much? We only stayed for 4 hours. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me calculate the actual price for you. I put in all the proper stuff into the system, and it comes out to $280 and some change. So the total is $280. Would you like your receipt printed? What? How the hell did it go up in price? Well, for starters, you lied and said you had 2 adults and 1 child in the room. I forgot to mention how if you have more than 2 adults in the room, it ups the price $10 per adult. I counted 7 adults, so that's around $50. I also noticed that you had 2 dogs in your room. When you signed your card, you acknowledged our pet policy of $25, which is a non-refundable per pet per night. I also noticed you trashed the room, which calls for your security deposit to be taken to cover the damages you caused. Would you like the receipt printed? Excuse me, who the hell do you think you're talking to? I want to speak to your manager right now. Okay, well, you're going to have to wait until tomorrow, seeing that my GM doesn't get here until tomorrow, and I'm the only one on duty. I am going to ask you to leave until she comes in tomorrow, though. When your manager gets a load of what you've done, you're going to get fired, and I'm going to get my damn refund. Okay, good luck with that. Have a good day. And our last story. Somebody tried to stand in a parking spot to hold it so they could move closer. One afternoon around 5 p.m. and around 105 degrees, relevant later, in the U.S., my wife, my in-laws, my 2 kids, and I are in a packed parking lot outside of a little market. There also happened to be a fair going on at the same time. There being so many of us, we had to take 2 vehicles. That being said, my mother-in-law is handicapped and has the parking that comes along with it. However, there was no open handicap parking spots available, so I found 2 parking spots, one being closer than the other. I took the parking spot furthest away so they could park as close as possible so she wouldn't have to walk. She has a bad back. As I parked, a woman got out of the passenger seat of a parked car further down and walked up to the open parking space and took her stance. My in-laws tried pulling into the parking spot and the woman would not move. So I did the only reasonable thing that you can do in that situation. I stood behind my in-laws' car and in front of the other woman's car whom the lady standing was waiting for. She yelled at me to move, so I calmly said, "No, you can't hold that parking spot. She needs to move." She yelled some more and refused to budge. So I did the best thing I could do. I told them I have all day, and I sat in the middle of the parking lot in the front of that car in the blistering heat. After about 2 minutes of me sitting there, the woman trying to hold the parking spot finally moved so my in-laws could park there. Man, was my ass on fire. But it was 100% worth it as she walked away PO'd. And to make matters better, she lost her other parking spot, and I'm pretty sure they had to park a lot further than they were. Hey guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.